Almost Famous with John Shea. Featuring local and independent musicians from the South Shore, Boston, and New England. On 95.9 WATD.
Welcome to the tiny stage hour of Almost Famous on 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England, brought to you each and every week by Tiny & Sons Glass. Make sure to follow us online tonight, Facebook and Instagram at Almost Famous Radio. You can stream us live at 959watd.com. That's also where you can go if you're an independent musician and you have original music you'd like to hear on the radio, 959watd.com. My name is John Shea, and it's an exciting night. This is our 500th show, and we are very pleased to have on the tiny stage tonight one of our favorites, Will Dailey. Good evening. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. How you been?
I'm good. Thanks for the honor of being here for your 500.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for making this work.
My pleasure.
So, you were here last and first on February 28th, 2012. So what's been new in your world since then?
Well, I got my license. No. That's a long time ago. I've put out a couple records since then. I've gone all over the place. As of late, I haven't gone anywhere.
I know. Well, let's back up just a bit. And for those who might not be familiar with you, give an introduction.
Well, my name is Will Dailey. I'm a singer-songwriter, basically out of Boston. And I'm a full-time artist. And up until COVID, I had lots of big plans like so many of us did. And I've been making the best of it. And part of doing that is coming here, spending time with you.
Thank you so much. And just a few months ago, you dropped an EP of cover tunes. Talk about that. That's an unusual project.
That's true. My brain was spinning out as is happening to our brains now, amongst all that we are weathering. And I had this practice when I've been making records to always have a cover song that we're messing around with in the studio. So, when it's like 1 a.m. and been in the studio for 5 days and we're just kind of losing our minds. It's like, well, let's just go mess up this Prince song a little bit and work on something random. Or there's an Arcade Fire song. There's a song in there by Tom Waits that we did for my record Golden Walker that came out in 2018. And we just tracked that at 1 a.m. just on a whim because we were just having a blast. And they're all songs where they're not similar to the original in any way. They're completely rearranged. And I thought, right now, it's a good time to share all this practice that I've had of deconstructing these tunes. But also, the songs themselves bring a little bit of comfort, a little bit of familiarity with something new put into them. And so I thought it was a nice time to maybe share it and put it all out as one EP.
I was listening to it, and some of the songs I knew, others I didn't, and I actually had to Google the song title or Google the lyrics to find out who did it originally. I mean, they really are, like you said, you kind of made them your own. You made them Will Dailey songs.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I took their Nirvana song, like the heaviest and fastest and most punk song off of Nevermind, and kind of made it a pop tune. Not a pop tune, but you know what I mean? It's a rockin', the way we did it's rockin', but it's a way in. And it's also a tradition that for me, you think Bob Dylan says Jimi Hendrix's Watchtower is the penultimate Watchtower. It's his song now, says Bob Dylan. And Joe Cocker's version of Get By With Little Help From My Friends, or Johnny Cash's version of Hurt. It's a tradition for the artist to do, especially to find someone that's inspired them so much. That's what's beautiful about Hendrix's Watchtower. And Johnny Cash's Hurt. So it's a long tradition, I think, for the songwriter themselves to do this.
And it goes to prove, too, that when you take really good lyrics, just strip away all the electric guitar, all the production value, what you have left is just a really good song.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's a great song, you should be able to kind of reinvent it in your own way. And that's the thing. Like, for me, we did I Would Die For You by Prince, and that's a perfect recording. It's a beautiful song and a perfect recording. And I'm kind of an idiot for trying to do it in the first place. But we just had so much fun making it. And that's when I was making my record National Throat. That's what we did, to just kind of take a break from our own hyper-focus on the songs that I wrote and just kind of reset our brains. We'd go work on I Would Die For You for a little bit.
Well, speaking of stripping great songs down to their surface, you brought the acoustic tonight. We're going to hear some of your songs.
Absolutely.
What are we starting off with?
I'll play a song called It Already Would Have Not Worked Out by Now.
All right. Will Dailey on the tiny stage, 95.9 WATD.
Remember us in jet streams, high on conversation, strangers in the sky. Who met on a delay, suddenly a red eye racing through the night. I told you about my love who's ready like a harbor. As soon as I arrive, yes, it all gets real when the gear goes down, and it already would have not worked out by now. Over Minnesota, you asked upon my shoulder, I smiled to oblige. Sudden drop in pressure, I would have put your mask on before I put on mine. So why was I wishing that the tailwind was not on our side, when I know had we never touched the ground that it already would have not worked out by now. Still anytime I feel mistreated, I wonder what it'd be like if we stayed up in the sky, high, high, so high. Some thoughts fly, stand by, waiting in an alternate life, where we take that walk and we buy the house and we get the job and the baby crowns and the taxes break and I drink too much and the bills pile up and the years roll out, and it already would have not worked out by now. Yes, it already would have not worked out by now. Well, it already would not work out by now.
And we have Will Dailey on the tiny stage tonight on our 500th show. Nice job on that one, man.
Thank you.
Talk about how you wrote that one.
Well, I take a lot of flights everywhere, and I meet a lot of people, and some, I don't know what it is, but they tell you their stories, and I meet a lot of wonderful people, and I love all the friends that I have, and all the love that I have, and my partner in life, without any kind of question mark. But there's this thing where, we could have been born anywhere. Luck has it that we were born where we were born, and the things that happen to us happen. We have some influence over those things, and some things we don't. And I feel grateful and lucky for the things that I was not in control of that happened to me, that have a role in the life that I lead. But there's all these possibilities that are out there, really. There's all these things that you could see yourself in any crazy position if you'd been one thing went different, or you're born somewhere else, or you're completely other side of the world. And I don't know, just kind of got stuck on that thought and that process. And,
amazing.
Yeah, wrote it on a plane.
So you mentioned in that song about putting on your mask.
Yeah.
Let's just hypothetically say there's a global pandemic and you're not allowed to leave the house for like 6 months to a year and you have to wear masks everywhere you go. What's one thing you can't live without?
Well, I really struggled. In the beginning, I got to work when all this, and then in the middle of the past 8 months or 9 months, however long this has been going on, the cellular level of my body, which for my whole life has been playing in front of people and playing music and being in a band and falling on the drums and bumping into the bass player, maybe even falling into the audience and giving hugs afterwards and having people sing along, and there's spit and saliva being traded back and forth with an audience and a singer at all times. There's a part of my being in my cells that has thrived and lived and fed off that and doesn't really know anything else at this point. And I had to realize about 4 months in that this, obviously I was sad and upset about it, but there's this real deep down metaphysical appetite that my being has that was struggling. So that's the one thing I can't live without is performing and playing live and playing with other human beings.
I thank you for making this performance work in your schedule tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How long has music been a part of your life?
My whole life. I started piano at like 4 or 5 and bailed on it, and then trumpet and bailed, and violin and bailed, and then I saw a guitar and everyone's like, "You're just going to bail on that too?" And I said, "Oh yeah, you wait, you watch." Maybe I'm just I'm stubborn and still trying to prove them wrong, but and performing really picked up when I was in high school and couldn't hit a baseball or do any football to save my life. I couldn't catch a ball or hit it or do anything, and music, I was always there, and then I was like, oh, wait, people like when you perform it too. That's nice. So kind of found my friends that way.
When did you realize that you could perform your original songs in public?
Oh, that took a little bit longer. I remember my friend, and he's still my friend, and he had an 8-track recorder, and I played him one of the first songs I wrote, and he recorded it. And he now runs a classical music label and goes all over the world. And we're still pals and always still talking about playing music, which is actually a really beautiful thing. But I was about 17 when I did that and played it for somebody and recorded it, and I immediately fell in love with that relationship of being in a space with someone and recording a piece of music and art and having that exchange of ideas, both sometimes, very seamless and beautiful, and sometimes you're button heads, and that's great too, because then something amazing can come out of that. And I started performing, but my own songs basically when I got to like 20, and they were horrible for a long time, and they still are occasionally.
And then along the way, you were signed to a pretty big label, and you are now back to being an independent artist. Talk about the journey that led to where we are today.
Yeah, one thing happened after the other. I put out my own record, my first record on my own, and my second one kind of on my own with some help with some people. And next thing I knew, I was on one major label, and then another one. But then I found myself on the biggest label in the world, and I was immediately unhappy there, and immediately felt this is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to spin my wheels here for 5 years, and the bottom will fall out from under me, and I won't have done any work in those 5 years. I'll just be trying to jump through everyone else's hoops. And I kind of pulled a little chess move with the help of some allies and soulfully got out of that deal and went and started my own label back up again called Wheel Kick Records and put out National Throat in 2014 and kind of had the most success I've ever had on my own.
Why is it important to you to be an independent artist?
Well, important, I don't know if it's, I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. and I never really picked the genre or anything that I would fit in for the rest of my life, whether it be rock or Americana or pop or folk or any of those things. I'm on a rock flying through space, and that's all I'm really sure of. And I want to be able to write whatever song I feel like I need to write to help make this journey make more sense, be more fun, and include more ideas and more people. So I knew I could do that practice best on my own.
Let's do another song. What are we listening to next?
This is a song called The Submariner. It's a story about a guy became aware of. He was very eccentric, and he lived down in the islands off Florida Key, like on the Florida Keys, and was building his own submarine. And I wouldn't say it would be the safest submarine or the safest person, but I haven't heard of him in a long time, and I know he got it underwater. I don't know if it ever came up again.
Let's hear it. Will Dailey, WATD.
Got both hands dirty in my dreams, putting my good foot forward in the deep, and all I heard was a scream from the blue mystery. Someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Torn from fields and dropped into the sea, chased the sun down with friends I'd never meet, and pressure was only an embrace I can never leave. But someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Lonely as I get in my homemade submarine, her eyes always glued to the horizon. Nothing like the isolation out there on the streets, being chased down by the bite of false desire. Rest for no one arresting me at the bottom where treasure no man keeps. But if the air surrenders, it is there I will sleep. Someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Someday you're gonna have to face your dreams. Oh.
Very nice, very mellow. Will Dailey on the tiny stage tonight, 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that one.
Thank you.
We are up against our first break of the 9 o'clock hour. We have a lot more to talk about with Will Dailey and a lot more music to share as well, right here on our 500th tiny stage on 95.9.
Almost Famous with John Shea on 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to Almost Famous 95.9 WATD, introducing you to independent bands and musicians from across New England. I'm John Shea. We're on the tiny stage, and this is our 500th show, and I want to thank Will Dailey for being our 500th guest tonight. Will, good evening. How you doing?
Good, man. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for making this work. You were here once before we were talking about earlier. That was in February of 2012, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Give another introduction as to who you are.
Well, I am a Massachusetts born and raised singer, songwriter, and performer. And I'll probably leave it at that. The rest you got to figure out. I don't want to, we don't know each other well enough yet.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Share with us your website and where people can find you on social media.
My website is willdailey.com. It's my name. I scored that website URL. It's just WillDailey.com. And then, there's Will Dailey Official on Instagram and Will Dailey on Twitter and Facebook and all those things, although I'm not too good at keeping up on those as much as I probably should be. And I'm around. You can find me. I think being on my mailing list is probably the best thing, or following me on Bands in Town for shows when we have shows again. I got a couple shows in the summer, like outdoor things.
And they're still happening, on occasion, if you know the right spot to look for.
Right.
So kind of along with your music, you're also very involved in community organizations. Azumix comes to mind. Why is having a role with these organizations important to you?
Well, we have to participate in the world we live in. And there's all the, altruistic things to say of helping the community and giving back, and these kids are inspiring, and that's all true. That's true for all of us, right? When we mix and mingle with each other. But there's even a part about it when you're an artist that you do not want to get too enclosed in your own world, especially if you're a busy touring artist. Like for my artistry, I don't want to be on the road too much, because then my music becomes about music that happens on the road, and you have this singular experience. So working within your community, helping other organizations. I help out in Chicago too when I'm there. It gives just as much to me and informs me just as much about the world that I live in, and helps me communicate better as an artist and find, I guess, new sources of awareness.
Fantastic. That's the voice of Will Dailey. He is on the tiny stage tonight, and let's do another song. What are we doing next?
Well, this is a song I probably never got to play here on the station, so I'll play it now. It's called Sunken Ship.
Jumping overboard, cat, swimming back to shore, 'cause now I know you're bailing with a thimble for a bucket-sized hole, covered in a treasure no one wants. I don't want captain of a sunken ship, sunken in the shallow water, standing out on the bridge, still thinking you're still sailing, getting back my legs, walking with my clothes that I find more. I want more. Watch you on the bow there, burning out days, staring down horizons that won't come. Won't come. Captain of a sunken ship, sunken in the shallow water, standing out on the bridge, still thinking, are you still sailing? you're still sailing. Whoa.
That's Will Dailey on the tiny stage, 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that one.
Thank you, brother.
Talk about how that one happened.
Well, I was on that I remember I was on the phone with my manager at the time, and I was stuck on that big giant record label. And I said something to the effect of, like, it just feels like everyone's on this cruise. It's not going anywhere. Something I said something, and then I don't know. I had it in my head, and I was playing it, and I had the chorus. But I remember we went in to record this album called National Throat, and we were recording it upstate New York at this beautiful studio. It's a big barn. It had this wonderful live sound, and Kimon Kirk, a friend of mine, bass player, wonderful person, a musician. He was on bass, and Dave Brophy, my longtime music partner, was on drums, and we were just in the live room kind of warming up, and our engineer was getting sounds, and I showed him the song, and it came together really quick, and we tracked it maybe 3 times, and then picked the song. The version that's on the record is just one of those passes out of the 3 passes that we did in that night.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where do your song ideas come from?
Oh, I wish I knew. I'd have more. But it comes from being relaxed. It comes from being aware. It comes from paying attention. And it comes from listening. And it comes from letting go. And it comes from work, too. When you pay attention, you're doing the work. And it also comes from allowing yourself to say whatever it is you want to say. And that's a big part, I think, too, about the songs, is allowing yourself.
Absolutely.
Not I can say on one hand it's work sometimes, and sometimes it's none of the above. And it's just letting go and letting yourself do something risky. We just did 2 days in the studio for this one song and this idea that I had and this song, and the song's 7 minutes right now. It'll probably stay that way, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I don't know when we'll get it out, but we just got a lot of it done.
Love it.
Yeah.
How do you then keep those ideas fresh?
That's a great question. And I'm always kind of policing that myself and making sure that I am going down fresh avenues and chasing new ideas, and not I guess repeating myself or getting comfortable or disrespecting my audience by making sure they're comfortable. I don't want to disrespect anybody that way by making music that I think will make them comfortable. And at the same time, I think my music's not like, it's very approachable. It's not like it's, I don't know. It's not overly dangerous, right, by any means. But I guess I don't know the exact answer to that, but I am always cognizant of its importance to keep it fresh. And
whatever you're doing, it's working.
Oh, thank you, sir.
We are nearing the end of 2020. It's been a hell of a year. The music industry obviously still bleeding very much as a result of the pandemic. What can people do right now and into the new year, into 2021, to continue to keep independent local music alive?
You can really go direct to the artist. Let's get rid of all these middlemen. Middlemen, like people talk about social media or Spotify not paying artists enough, but there's always been someone not paying artists enough. And now more than ever in the history of humankind, you have direct access to the artists that you love, and you can support them directly. And, I'll just speak on behalf of myself. On my website, there's a store with T-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. And we just now are doing pre-orders for a very special vinyl remaster of my second record that I never got made on vinyl. And that's part of keeping my whole thing afloat, is pre-selling a few hundred of those between now and the end of January, February. And that in itself, if everyone out there picked between now and Christmas or end of January, picked 2 or 3 independent artists each and bought something from their store, that goes a long way. If that was a human behavior that was adopted widespread.
Good advice from Will Dailey. Let's do some more music. What are we listening to next?
Oh, geez, again, I
Putting you on the spot.
no agenda or plan. This is a song called He Better Be Alive.
All right, we have it on 95.9 WATD, The Tiny Stage.
Cause I wanna save your soul. Oh, you better be alive. Tomorrow's watching on my phone. As your trigger shakes, he better be alive. I don't think you're certain. You know what you're hurting. Who or why with his arms aloft, clawing toward a sympathetic sky. Better be alive. Better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. I stay awake all night till his car pulls in. He better be alive. I promise to go on faking a peaceful, plundered life so long as he's alive. All for selling Lucy's, the darkness of his beauty, the fear you carry immutable is the grip choking out a life. You better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. Cause I gotta tell his son, and then tell his son he should be alive. All for selling Lucy's, the darkness of his beauty, the fear you carry immutable as the grip choking out a life. He better be alive. He better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. Show me a mother deserving to have her light stolen. I'll show you a Baltimore, Carolina, Staten Island fire. You better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. You better be alive. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. You better be alive. 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 Whoa, oh, 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 oh. You better be alive. You better be alive. Better be alive. Better be alive, oh, you better be alive. Whoa, oh, oh, oh,
oh. Will Dailey, 95.9 WATD. I have to ask what that one's about.
Oh, well, that was something a wife of a gentleman who was shot by police was saying as she was filming her husband as he bled to death. And so I'll often, for some reason, think of the mothers out there who worry about their sons going out into the night or wherever, and worry about them getting home, and what it takes to bring someone into this world and worry about their safety and just the every day-to-day kind of interactions they might have. And so I just took her cry and declaration there, and that song came out.
That's incredible. You just released an EP.
I did.
Which is a very unique EP because it's an EP of cover tunes. You talked about Prince earlier in the night. Talk again what inspired that EP and where it's available.
Well, it's available on all streaming platforms. It's really a collection of this practice that I've done over the years. Those songs are recorded after over about 11 years of work, of this kind of habit I have with everyone I work with of saying, all right, we've just been working on like my song for 2 days straight, and we've been slogging through it in the studio. Let's go just like shake it all out right now and record this Tom Waits tune. Or let's every once in a while go take this Prince song and make this groovy Prince song into a slower groovy Prince song and see if I can fit in there with some of these greats and see if I can take some of this beautiful work of people I look up to, whether it be Nirvana or Tom Waits or Arcade Fire, and kind of find my own purpose and truth in that great work. And that's it's just a collection of that practice.
Well, let's hear some more of your work. What are we listening to next?
Well, I'll play a song off the Back Flipping Forward, which is my second album I ever made, and I fought and got the rights back to the record, and so now we're in the middle of having it remastered and pressing it to vinyl, and we have pre-orders up on my website. So this is a song called Eliza.
All right, Will Dailey, 95.9 WATD.
They woke up to violence. I caught my shoelace in the sunset and I tripped throughout the morning. By now you know my pistol was never loaded, but bullets hit the air and they found another man and he hit the ground. So let me catch my breath, and before you start crying, turn off the television and hear me out. Hey Eliza, I will love you till I'm bones, but I can't stick around here anymore. Any minute now, they'll come crashing down our door. So grab what you need, we've gotta go. Oh no, 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 oh no, no. What did you think would happen when the bills are going north and the work is going south and we're running out? The freedom's in my failures as I check myself for holes and I'm crawling over glass. I realize, hey Eliza, I will love you till I'm bones, but I can't stick around here anymore. Any minute now, they'll come crashing down our door. So grab what you need, we've gotta go. Oh no, 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 no. Any minute now, they'll come crashing down our door. So grab what you need, we've gotta go. And I will find you a diamond in Mexico. I will find were a diamond in Mexico. I will find you were a diamond in Mexico. Oh no, no, no.
Will Dailey, 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that, man.
Thank you.
Remind us of your website, too, where people can go and pre-order that new remastered album. It's
willdailey.com, Dailey. When you spell the Daily, you got to get all those vowels in there. And or if you just Google Will Dailey, I'll come up, and that'll lead you to the site. And you'll find the EP, and you'll go to the store, and you'll see the vinyl.
Yeah, browse the website.
Yeah.
Take a look around.
Hoodie if you need hoodies and stuff like that.
It is winter. It's nice and cold outside, so go warm yourself up.
I know it.
You recently took part in the Ghostlight series over at the Box Center in Boston. That aired back in November. I think it was on the 20th that actually went on the air. What was that experience like?
It was sublime. I mean, I sold out the Wang. There weren't any tickets for sale, so I technically sold out. And
that's a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, and they filmed it with one camera. It wasn't like any kind of fancy thing. They leave a ghost light up on the stage when a theater's closed. So the ghost light obviously has been on for many, many months at the Wang and other theaters around the world. And what the Wang did is they had me and other performers come in and do these sets. And I just played my acoustic guitar on the ghost light. They filmed it with one camera, just the microphone that's on the camera. Nothing fancy. And I played to the empty theater, and it was lovely because Paul Spalding, who's been the boss over there for many decades, kind of produced the segment. And after many months of all this isolation and not being around my bandmates and having the influence of others, Paul just kind of produced the show, And it was just really wonderful to have someone whose eyes have been in the theater for decades say, all right, let's do a take, Will, and do a song, and do you want to do it again? I say, yeah, I'll do that one again. And it's just nice to have another person, even though he's on the other side of the stage of me, just looking out. And so I had this bittersweet experience of playing to an empty Wang and having a master of the performance arts kind of have my back when I was doing it. It was lovely.
Really cool. We have time for two more songs before we're at the end of our show tonight.
I only know one more.
You only know one more. Okay.
Yeah.
Make it long. What are we listening to next?
Oh, let's see. What are we listening to next? I don't know. I'll play a song of mine. This is a song of mine called... it's a new song. I'll just play it here, I guess. It's called Reciprocal Love.
All right. Will Dailey, 95.9 WATD.
Reciprocal love is the only kind of love I recognize now in my life. I have been tried, though I failed when I have tried to get by without reciprocal love. It's the only kind of love I realize now. Reciprocal love is the only kind of love I recognize now in my life. Though it took time, I have gained it back with time. It's measured out now by reciprocal love. reciprocal love, reciprocal love. I realize reciprocal love is the only kind of love I realize now.
Excellent. Will Dailey, 95.9 WATD. Nice job on that one, man.
Thank you.
We are up against our last break of the night for our 500th show. We'll be back with more of Will Dailey, more songs after this. 95.9 WATD.
Almost Famous. Don't miss an episode. Check out the podcast at almostfamousradio.com.
For the final time this evening on our 500th show here on the WATD Tiny Stage, my name is John Shea. We introduce you to independent bands and musicians every Tuesday night. Brought to you by Tiny & Sons Glass, and we have Will Dailey on the Tiny Stage tonight. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man, and I want to say on behalf of every musician out there in New England, thank you and congratulations on 500 because you are tirelessly supportive of everyone and just the kindest, and can't thank you enough.
I appreciate that. Same back at you. We talked earlier in the night that you were here. We started the show in May of 2011, officially in July. It was when we went to a weekly show, and you were here in February 2012, so not that long after we launched. And thank you so much for coming then, and thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thanks for spinning me and just keeping me on the waves. I appreciate it.
Anytime. One last time, give an introduction.
My name is Will Dailey, and I'm a songwriter.
And there's an EP of cover tunes out there, and there's also our newly remastered vinyl of your second album.
That's right. We're doing pre-orders for this, and it was really exciting to kind of use this time to go back over that recording and remaster it and make it its first limited edition vinyl, and just the process of doing that and the people we're working with to make it a very special piece of music and wax. I'm excited about it.
Awesome. What's next for you?
Surviving the last couple days of 2020, and time is relative, so it really has nothing to do with 20 and 20 and 20 and 21, and it's just every day you wake up and you try to do something that helps the person next to you, and maybe they do something that helps the person next to them, and just try to be a better person and make beautiful things while we're here together.
Love that. Will Dailey, we have time for one more song before we wrap things up. So what are we going up to 10 o'clock with?
Well, I'm going to leave you the song called Rescue.
All right. 95.9 WATD. Thanks again. Get home safely. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you soon.
You crawled into my life, rags and desperation. All you needed was a line. I wasn't much better off myself. I was as lost as anyone else. You crawled to me, somehow you knew it'd be just what we need. And from the outside, I know it seems that I rescued you, but you rescued me. Yeah, days celebrate, and days we lost to madness. Days that got away. I give you shelter from storms rolling in. to the wind. You crawled to me. Somehow you knew it'd be just what we'd need. And from the outside, I know it seems, love, that I rescued you, but you rescued me. Well, I rescued you, but you rescued me. And we were a cloud that you could hide under or ride on. Got off the ground, yeah. So now it's you who's gone on to be one of the stars that will shine down on me. And from the outside, I know it seems that I rescued you, but you rescued me. Well, I rescued you, but you rescued